All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about Paramount. Now, Paramount is a company, just like every other company, that had certain DEI mandates and initiatives that they were focusing on for their company, right? And they did this for a few years. And now that Trump is in office and things are drastically changing, I mean, the pendulum is swinging so damn fast, we're trying to keep a hold of it before it swings way too far to the other side. But Paramount has decided that it's in their best interest to now roll back the DEI mandates that they had within their company to conform with the Trump administration policies. And they also have pending lawsuits as well that are just absolutely destroying this company from within. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, we have talked about Paramount, I think, a few times in the past, especially when certain TV shows that they would come out with that deserved to be mocked and laughed at for what they were. But Paramount is just a one company out of all the companies, or especially all the streaming services, that all do the same exact thing. And I think it's hilarious to see them all changing tune at the same time and basically have to admit that this is really not about ideology. This is just about whatever they feel is going to get them the most clout, the most money, the most whatever at the time. Because once somebody says, hey, enough is enough, they run away, turn heel, and change up their entire tune. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Plays. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, again, we have talked about Disney doing the same exact thing. Disney, supposedly yesterday, we did a video talking about how Disney is apparently rolling back their DEI bonuses. Yes, you heard me right. Their executives, their managers, they all got bonus money for how many non-white people they hired. It was absolutely insane what Disney was trying to get away with, and I'm sure Paramount is no different. It says that Paramount Global has begun rolling back its diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI initiatives, which, again, I genuinely believe, and I think a lot of people are in this camp, that they're not getting rid of anything. For the people out there who really believe that they're getting rid of something, I want you guys to understand that's not actually happening. They're not getting rid of anything. What they're doing is they're being exactly what they've always been, which is a chameleon. What they're doing is they're changing up their tune to try to meld in with whatever or whoever's in power at the time in the hopes to ride it out while they basically rebrand. That's essentially what they're trying to do. They're going to rebrand DEI into something else. It's going to take a little while for people to figure out what that is. Obviously, everybody already knows about Bridge at this point, but they're going to try to do other things to try to rebrand DEI into something else and kind of deviate it into other sectors of their company and hope that nobody finds it within any relevant time. And by the time people find out about it, they're just going to rebrand again. This is what they do, which is why people need to stay on top of them and keep them accountable as a company. But it says that this move comes as a media giant faces increasing legal and regulatory challenges, including a $20 billion lawsuit from President Trump against CBS News and the need for federal approval on its planned merger with Skydance Media. In a memo to employees, co-CEOs George Cheeks and Chris McCarthy and Brian Robbins acknowledged that changes in the way that the company approaches inclusion moving forward are necessary to align with federal guidance. One of the most significant shifts include the removal of numerical hiring goals based on demographic characteristics. Again, why was this even allowed? Why was this even a thing? I don't understand. We are supposed to be a country that hires based off of merit, and you're out here actually doing discriminatory hiring and try to pretend as if you're being progressive about it. That doesn't make any sense, man. You are clear. And then the people out there who try to say, oh, it's a conspiracy theory, DEI, all the thoughts about it as a conspiracy theory, they weren't hiring people based off skin color. Bro, this is literally them admitting that they were hiring people based off skin color. And you're still going to have people out there say, well, that's not true. It is true. Along with an end to the collection of such data in the hiring process except where legally required. The company is also eliminating the DEI component of its short-term incentive plan, which previously tied 5%. Oh, so they were paying people as well. Previously tied 5% of incentive funding to success in DEI initiatives. Instead, it will now focus on workforce culture and development, emphasizing leadership development and broader employee engagement. Dude. Oh my God, bro. So Disney was getting paying their managers and executives money for DEI initiatives, and Paramount was doing the exact same thing. They were paying 5% of the incentive, total incentive, was based off of the success of DEI initiatives. That is insane, my guy. This is how you know none of it was organic. When you have people out here trying to sell you the idea of, oh, we just hired the best person for the role, and for some reason, 90% of them seems to be non-white. But hey, that's just how it goes. It all goes and makes sense now because they were paying people to do that. And I feel like that was obvious to anybody with a brain, but obviously without clear evidence, you can only speak your opinion. But this is evidence that tells us they were in fact paying people to do DEI initiatives within the company. This rollback comes as the Trump administration intensifies its stance against DEI policies in both the public and private sectors. An executive order issued in January directed federal agencies to not only eliminate such programs, but also to pressure private corporations to do the same. The administration has made it clear that businesses seeking regulatory approvals may face additional scrutiny if they maintain policies that prioritize demographic-based hiring. I cannot believe that it takes the federal government for people to come in and be like, hey, go back to merit-based hiring and stop hiring people based off their skin color. The fact that it was even allowed for so many years is ridiculous. And I think at this point, yeah, we're seeing lawsuits, but that's not going to be the end of it. We're going to see an insane amount of lawsuits. People are going to find out that they were denied a job simply because that they weren't dark enough. And that is going to make people want to sue. I'm telling you right now. The timing of Paramount's decision raises questions about its motivations, especially given its ongoing legal battles and merger negotiations. Well, quite frankly, they're doing it because everybody else is, right? Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Disney, and now Paramount and other companies as well, Netflix, they're all doing this, man. Every single one of these companies are trying to avoid the chaos that is coming their way by doing what they've been doing for the last 4 years, and the Trump administration is not having it, so they're just being chameleons, and they're trying to blend in with who's in power right now. The company's $8 billion deal with Skydance hinges on approval from the Federal Communications Commission, which is now chaired by Brendan Carr, a Trump-appointed official. Carr has publicly stated that the lawsuit against CBS News, filed by Trump over allegations of deceptive editing in a 60-minute interview with Kamala Harris, will likely be a factor in the FCC's decision-making process. That is not good for them. If the guy in charge or making the decision is someone who was put there by Trump, you are in big trouble. Meanwhile, the FCC has ramped up its investigations into DEI programs across the industry. Comcast and NBC Universal are also under scrutiny, with Carr expressing concerns that their policies may not align with federal regulations. With the Paramount Skydance merger on the line, the company appears to be taking a strategic approach to avoid potential roadblocks. Now, again, I don't know if this has to do with their lawsuits. Perhaps there could be a factor regarding that. But I think ultimately what it is them just trying to change up while they can, as early as they can, because they're going to have to deal with this for the next 4 years, obviously, right? Trump is in office for the next 4 years, and all of these companies are basically being chameleons, trying to change it up and trying to ride the wave in the next 4 years in the hopes to not get as many lawsuits as they feel like it's coming their way for doing what they did over the last 4 years. They've gotten away with so much nonsense, man. It's ridiculous what these companies have gotten away with, especially when it comes to discriminatory hiring practices. And yet here they are trying to change tune and be like, oh, well, we're sorry. We didn't mean to do that. That's not what we stand for anymore. It's like, bro, nobody believes you. Come on. This shift also aligns with broader trends in the media industry. Exactly. Paramount is not alone in reevaluating its approach. Other major players, including Disney, which nobody believes, Amazon, which nobody believes, have also pulled back on DEI initiatives amid shifting political and regulatory pressures. Nobody believes Disney and Amazon. I don't know if anybody that genuinely believes these companies are changing tune because they care now or whatever. They're only changing tune to avoid lawsuits. They're only changing tune to try to blend in with who's in power right now. That is literally the only reason why. So we're going to see what happens from this change. Obviously, Paramount has lawsuits that we're going to follow up on as more information comes out. But at this point, Paramount is joining all these other companies in changing up their supposed DEI trends and trying to become something of a non-woke company, which we all know that they're not. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.